Welcome back, my amazing YouTube family.
Yep.
I truly hope every single one of you is doing fantastic today and that you're feeling excited, relaxed, and ready to dive into yet another unbelievable video. Today's story is going to be one for the books, and trust me when I say, you are going to want to stick around until the very end, because things get absolutely wild. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you've probably already heard me mention a certain individual, a guy who goes by a few different names depending on the day and which lie he's trying to keep up with. His real name is Luis Sanchez, but online, he often goes by the username It's Kilo. Sometimes he even uses the ridiculous alias Sweaty Draws. Yes, you heard that right. Sweaty Draws. And honestly, once you hear what this guy has been up to, you'll understand why that name fits him a little too well. To give you a little background, Luis Sanchez, or Kilo, or Sweaty Draws, whatever he's calling himself this week, has been acting like a complete weirdo for quite some time now. Over the past few months, he's been low-key stalking me online, obsessing over my life, and getting visibly jealous over even the smallest things I post or accomplish. It's honestly been bizarre to witness. At first, I thought maybe it was harmless, but as time went on, it became clear this dude has some serious issues he needs to work through.
Nice.
One of the most hilarious parts of all of this was when Kilo started bragging non-stop about his so-called gated community home.
No way, they got 3 before it like
He would
that.
not shut up about how he lived in this exclusive, high-end neighborhood, trying to make it sound like he was some sort of big shot. He even went as far as to tell everyone that he had recently upgraded his house with fancy renovations, like a newly remodeled bathroom featuring a luxury jacuzzi tub, spa-like tile work, and all the high-end finishes you could imagine. He painted this picture of pure wealth and luxury, like he was living the dream life, hoping to impress whoever would listen, especially certain gamer girls he was trying desperately to impress online. But here's where it gets really funny. When someone actually managed to get a real look at his house, the truth came crashing down harder than ever. Turns out, everything he said was a complete fabrication. There was no gated community. There were no upgrades. The bathroom was not remodeled, and there certainly wasn't any high-end jacuzzi spa to be found. Even worse, no permits had ever been pulled for any renovations, meaning that even if he had made changes, they weren't legitimate or up to any real code. Luis Kilo Sanchez had built an entire fantasy world around himself, and the moment the truth came out, he couldn't handle it. He completely melted down. At one point, Kilo even promised that he was going to embarrass me by showing off proof of his brand new roof, which, according to him, was a major flex because it was top of the line.
Top of my last kit.
But shocker, he never produced a single photo, document, or shred of evidence to back up that claim. Like everything else with him, it was all talk and no action. Just empty words floating in the air.
Woody's down.
Now let's be clear. There's absolutely nothing wrong with owning a fixer-upper home. Everyone starts somewhere, and working on a house can be a huge accomplishment. But the problem is, Kilo wasn't just proud of what he had, he lied about it. He made up ridiculous stories trying to act like he was living some extravagant luxury lifestyle, all because he was desperate for approval and admiration from random people online. Mostly young gamer girls, which makes the whole situation even more pathetic and disturbing. It gets even crazier. Not only was he embarrassed about his own life, but he was so insecure that he wouldn't even acknowledge his wife publicly. Instead, he spent countless hours online, creeping through lobbies and Discord servers, thirsting after skinny gamer girls, acting like he was some single hotshot millionaire, when in reality he was sitting in a cluttered room in a falling apart house he couldn't even legally renovate. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It was genuinely mind-blowing and honestly kind of sad to witness. Throughout all this, Kilo kept up a steady stream of lies, even about basic things like where he lived. When he was supposedly living in Georgia, he claimed he was moving around between different areas. All fancy, of course. But none of it ever added up. The web of lies was so massive and tangled, you'd think he was writing the next great American novel or something. It got so ridiculous that it honestly made people wonder if maybe, just maybe, Kilo had lost way too many brain cells over the years from sniffing whatever questionable substances he's been around. The crack jokes started flying, and to be honest, he brought it all on himself. Kilo's obsession with drugs didn't just end with the crack jokes either. His nickname Kilo, which obviously is a unit of measurement associated with illegal drugs, became a running joke in every community he interacted with. People clowned him so hard over it that he eventually cracked under the pressure and changed his name altogether. But by that point, it was way too late. His reputation was already trashed beyond repair, and everyone knew exactly who he was and what he was about. Nowadays, Luis Kilo Sanchez seems to be spending most of his time sulking, getting deep into his feelings, and throwing pity parties for himself because reality came knocking, and he couldn't keep up with his own lies. It's honestly amazing how someone could dig themselves into such a deep hole just by trying so hard to impress people who don't even know or care about him in the first place. And that, my friends, brings us to today's video. I'm going to break down even more of Kilo's lies, expose the truth, and show you just how far some people will go to try and create a fake image for themselves online. So grab your snacks, get comfortable, and stay tuned, because this is going to be a ride you won't want to miss. For the longest time, Kilo, yes, good old Luis Sanchez, and his sidekick Michael, who you might know online as It's Killa, have been running their mouths non-stop about how badly they wanted to set up a 4 versus 4 match. They hyped it up for months, acting like they were ready to prove something, like they were these elite players nobody could touch. They made it sound like they were practically begging for competition, trying to challenge everybody like they were on top of the world. But every single time we actually went ahead and set up a 4v4, guess what happened? They got absolutely wrecked. And I mean wrecked to the point where it wasn't even funny anymore. And when they started losing, instead of taking it like men, they got super salty. Like clockwork. Every single time the pressure was on, they would instantly swap to the cheesiest tactics you can think of. Status effects stacked through the roof, nothing but annoying crowd control spam, trying to cheese their way to an undeserved win. If you were paying attention earlier in the video, and I know my real ones caught it, you probably noticed the nonsense happening in real time. They were running lag switches like it was 2012, spamming LMGs like their lives depended on it, and pulling out every single cheesy, broken build they could find. It was almost like watching a desperate last stand. And the funniest part? The minute someone else matches their energy, the second we give them a taste of their own medicine, they immediately start crying and complaining. Suddenly, it's not competitive anymore. It's cheap and unfair when they're on the receiving end. It's almost comical how badly they want to be the only ones allowed to use cheese. They want to bring the most toxic builds imaginable, flood the server with lag, and trap people in spawn. But the minute we flip the script and trap them in spawn, it's like we committed a crime against humanity.
I think there's three of them, though.
You can literally feel the rage through the mic. They get so deep into their feelings, you'd think someone stole their lunch money. Honestly, it's gotten to the point where they can't even handle losing. Like, not even a little bit. Rumor has it, and this is coming straight from people who used to run with them, that Kilo and Killa had to take a break from the game altogether after we embarrassed them so badly. Yep, you heard that right. After getting dismantled over and over again, they packed it up and disappeared for a while to lick their wounds. Once again, their fragile egos couldn't handle reality. Oh, and speaking of Kilo's rough times, if you're feeling generous, feel free to drop a donation in the comments to help support our boy Kilo. Word on the street is that his wife Katie has been picking up extra shifts just to make sure there's enough food in the house for him while he sits around playing video games all day, trying to relive his imaginary glory days. Priorities completely out of whack, ladies and gentlemen. While the rest of us are leveling up in life, building real success, Kilo is still stuck chasing fake clout online, getting carried in matches, and trying to hold on to whatever little bit of pride he has left. It's clear as day, we're just not on the same level. And no matter how hard he tries, no matter how many lies he tells himself or others, Kilo knows deep down that he wishes he could live the life I'm living. That fact eats him alive. Every day.
Get ready to beam
forever mad, forever bitter, and forever left behind. I'm sure a lot of you caught it right away, the very beginning of the video, that little 1v1 against Cutstrafe. Well, let me go ahead and pull the curtain back for those who didn't realize that wasn't some random player. That was none other than Kilo himself. Yes, Luis Sanchez, aka It's Kilo, aka Sweaty Draws, aka the king of fake accounts. This man has so many identities at this point, he could probably write his own spy novel. Something is seriously wrong with this guy. He's not just making a few extra accounts here and there. He's going completely overboard. He's creating multiple accounts across YouTube and PlayStation, using them to pretend he's different people, hopping around, trying to fool everyone like some desperate catfish. It's gotten so bad that he even made fake accounts pretending to be me, just because he couldn't handle the embarrassment of getting absolutely farmed in this game. I mean, talk about fragile. It's honestly sad to see. Mental illness is a real issue, no doubt. But in Kilo's case, there's strong suspicion that whatever is going on upstairs might also be heavily influenced by whatever drugs he's been dabbling with. Every time we call him out, every time we put a mirror up to show him what he's become, he throws a tantrum, gets defensive, and tries, very poorly, to justify himself. But the truth is the truth, and everybody can see it plain as day. And he's not alone. Let's not forget about his buddy Waco from his little clan. Waco got caught red-handed lag switching during matches, like clear as day, and still somehow managed to get farmed even with the cheating advantage. That's how bad they are. After the humiliation, Waco tried to cover his tracks by changing his name to USB, unless of course he's changed it again trying to run from the L's we handed him. It's become a pattern now. Get exposed, change your name, hope people forget. Spoiler alert, we don't forget. At this point, we're basically making them spend money just to keep switching up their gamer tags and clan names every time we embarrass them. It's honestly hilarious. They go through all this effort thinking it'll help them dodge their reputation, but the truth follows them no matter what name they slap on. You can literally see it for yourself. Every time we put them in their place, a brand new clan name magically pops up next to them, like they think a rebrand will erase their L's. Sorry, but screenshots are forever. Oh, and just in case you were wondering, yes, we're still waiting on Kilo to provide even a shred of evidence for all those so-called upgrades he bragged about. All that talk about a luxury house, brand new bathrooms, new roofs, you'd think by now he'd be dying to prove it after getting called out so many times.
Got one.
But nope. Not a single picture, not a single permit, not a single receipt. Nothing but empty words. Just like always. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a good laugh at their expense. Make sure to smash that like button, share the video with your friends, and stay tuned because there's always more content coming. Catch you all in the next one.
If you keep moving.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And
So fucking dog shit. Running a broken build.
wastelands through the highways till my shadow turns
Anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, for laughing with me, and for being part of this amazing community. Make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already, because you know we've got even more fire content on the way.